Good afternoon and welcome to TVM-News. Today is Friday, October 14th. I'm Ellen Franz.
And I'm Emma Rushworth. This week we have news about the return of the Steamtown Marathon.
We also have news about a fire that occurred near the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Airport on Tuesday.
And we'll check in with TVM sports anchors Kyle Driscoll and John Downey to find out the latest in Marywood and professional sports.
The Marywood Chamber Singers were recently given national recognition. The vocal group earned an honorable mention in the 2022 American Prize in Choral Music. The Chamber Singers are one of the 6 choirs to be recognized in the United States. The Chamber Singers are led by Marywood Associate Professor of Music, Theater, and Dance, Dr. Rick Hoffenberg.
Marywood-University earned the distinction of a military-friendly school. The list, published by GI Jobs magazine, features institutions that show, quote, true commitment in their efforts going over and above that standard. Military-friendly schools are chosen based off of a poll combined with individual assessments. The full list of military-friendly institutions will be published in the May and October issues of GI Jobs magazine.
Marywood's Aviation Management Program was recognized statewide. Academic Ground, an online scholarship search service, listed the program as number 5 in Pennsylvania. Marywood's Aviation Management Program is the only of its kind in the area, and students can choose either a pilot track or aviation management track. When we come back, we'll tell you about dogs that were dumped in an abandoned mine shaft in Schuylkill County. But first, we'll check in with Maddie for the weather.
Welcome back to your weekly weather report. I am Maddie, and I am so happy to report to you that we are going to have an absolutely gorgeous October weekend. Today the high is 64 and the low is 45, and we're predicting sun all day long. On Saturday the high is 68, that's right, 68 degrees in October, can you believe it? And the low is 45. On Sunday the high is 61 and the low is 41. Absolutely gorgeous weekend to go apple picking or go to the pumpkin patch, whatever you gotta do to make this weekend a fun fall October weekend. On Monday there is a slight chance of rain, 60%. Guess that's not very slight, but there is a chance of rain on Monday, so don't put your umbrellas away yet. The high is going to be 54 and the low is 41. On Tuesday the high is 48, the low is 37, so throughout the week next week we're going to see some cooler temperatures. Be sure to get your sweatshirts and your sweaters and everything you need out. On Wednesday the high is 47 and the low is 37. On Thursday, the high is 51, so getting a little bit warmer. The low is 34. And on Friday, the high is 56 with a low of 31. So not a bad high, kind of a cold low with 31 degrees. That's below freezing. It's feeling like October. It's getting cold, but take advantage of this beautiful weekend that we're going to have in northeastern Pennsylvania, and we'll see you back here next week. We'll be right back after these short messages.
Yo, camping buddy.
Boom.
Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Police in Schuylkill County found dogs dumped in an abandoned mine shaft. A hiker in Pottsville alerted the local ASPCA and authorities that a male dog and 7 puppies were severely emaciated and deceased in the mine shaft. The owner of the dogs has since come forward to police, but no charges have been filed yet.
Wayne County Police say a man intentionally drove his car into a home last week. Darren Stinnert of Dyeberry Township is facing charges of aggravated assault and DUI. He drove his vehicle into the home last Friday evening. No word on any injuries stemming from the incident.
Fire crews rushed near the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre Airport to extinguish a fire in a nearby building on Tuesday. An old black powder facility in Music caught fire Tuesday morning. While it's unclear what caused the fire, it was quickly extinguished only a few hundred yards from the airport, and the airport was not affected.
After a 2-year hiatus due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Steamtown Marathon returned to Scranton on Sunday. The marathon, which serves as a fundraiser for St. Joseph's Center, saw runners from 35 states and 5 countries compete. Alyssa Solis finished in first for the women with a time of 2:47, and Nick Ross finished first overall with a time of 2:25.
A Tunkhannock area school district bus crashed on Tuesday afternoon. No students were injured during the crash on Earhart Road in Overfield Township. A medical issue is believed to have been caused the crash relating to the steering wheel.
A heartwarming homecoming took place at the Mid-Valley High School football game last Friday. While under the lights, Mid-Valley High School junior Laisha Delgado, a cheerleader, was greeted by her older sister Destiny Ara, who had been away serving in the U.S. Navy. The sisters had not seen each other since April when Ara left for basic training. She has since been stationed at Joint Base Andrews in Maryland, making her homecoming manageable.
Arachnophobes should steer clear of Susquehanna University. The Snyder County School's Natural Science Center is currently home to 2,000 spiders for scientific research. University biology professor Matt Persons is studying spider behavior and the effects of pesticides on spiders. The spiders eat 25,000 crickets a week and are also used to help students study a different type of animal.
A playground for children with special needs held its grand opening over the weekend. More than $500,000 was raised by volunteers and parents to build the playground in Kirby Park. Wilkes-Barre Mayor George Brown said there are plans for a second special needs accessible park elsewhere in the city. When we come back, we'll tell you about New York City's response to its migration crisis.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Remember the best planned 90 minutes of your life? Or that surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams has declared a state of emergency over its migration crisis. Thousands of migrants had been sent to the city from Texas, similar to the trafficking of migrants from Florida to Martha's Vineyard last month. Adams said his administration plans to set up tent camps and house the immigrants on cruise ships if necessary.
Times Square is officially gun-free. New York City Mayor Eric Adams signed legislation this week banning the carrying, open or concealed, of guns within Times Square. Times Square is one of the most popular tourist destinations in a city expected to welcome 56 million tourists this year. Adams said this law aims to keep them safe.
A man under the influence of magic mushrooms allegedly assaulted crew members on a United Airlines flight. Sharoy Logan Sevilla became out of control 1 hour into a flight from Washington, D.C. to Miami, yelling profanities and pacing the cabin. When asked to return to his seat, Sevilla allegedly assaulted a flight attendant and had to be restrained. Another flight attendant was also assaulted while assisting in restraining Sevilla. He has been charged with assault within maritime and territorial jurisdiction and interference with flight crew members.
A former Texas police officer has been charged after using excessive force while on the job. 27-year-old James Brennan, a former rookie with the San Antonio Police Department, turned himself in to police on 2 counts of aggravated assault charges. Brennan spotted a vehicle parked in a McDonald's parking lot he believed to have been stolen. Upon approaching the vehicle, he ordered its driver, 17-year-old Eric Cantu, to get out and then shot several times into the vehicle, gravely wounding Cantu. Cantu is still unconscious and in critical condition and is not expected to recover.
The state of Alabama is under fire for an unusual request. They want to execute an inmate who survived the state's first attempt at executing him. The state attorney general's office requested a second execution date for Alan Miller after executioners could not locate a vein to administer the lethal injection. The Supreme Court has not ruled on a date for a potential second execution date.
Ada Fisher, a prominent and influential Black Republican, died this week at the age of 74. Fisher served as a member of the Republican National Committee of North Carolina for over a decade. She was actively involved in many political campaigns, advocating for the GOP to become more diverse. A cause of death was not immediately available.
The NFL is set to make changes to its concussion protocols. The announcement from Commissioner Roger Goodell comes after Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa was stretchered off the field following a head injury. Tagovailoa was injured in Week 3 as well, but cleared concussion protocols and was permitted to play in Week 4 against the Bengals. The players' union agreed to the changes, which includes broadening the criteria for a player to be ruled out with a concussion.
A carbon monoxide leak at a Pennsylvania daycare left several staff members and children sick. A malfunctioning heater at the Happy Smiles Learning Center in Allentown sent dangerous levels of carbon monoxide gas into the air, sending 30 people to the hospital. No one was seriously injured, and the daycare is planning to install carbon monoxide detectors and reopen soon. When we come back, we'll check in with TVM sports anchors Kyle Driscoll and John Downey for the latest in Marywood and professional sports.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Found several Marywood Pacers this week set personal records and awards, including a golfer on our men's team.
That's pretty impressive. Why don't you tell me a little more?
Sure. Senior Paula Polta, Marywood's men's golf team, was named the Atlantic East Golfer of the Week. This is Paul's second time being named Golfer of the Week this season. Paul finished second at the team's most recent quad match at Glenmora National Golf Club, shooting a 4-over par round of 75. The men's golf team will compete tomorrow at the Gino Biondi Memorial Tournament in Music. After winning their last two games, the women's field hockey team fell to Marywood-University 3-2. Despite a goal by Angie Genter and Corin Hasty scoring a goal off a Lauren Youngkin's shot, the Mighty Macs were victorious. The team takes on St. Mary's College in Maryland tomorrow at 3. Marywood's men's soccer team scored a 4-3 victory over Gwen Mercy Wednesday. Highlights include Richard Fuchs scoring 2 goals to lead the Pacers, with the victory sealed thanks to an off-corner kick saved by Darren Hyde. The Pacers take on Marymount-University tomorrow at 1. Marywood women's soccer team crushed Gwen Mercy University Wednesday, shutting them out 7-0. 4 goals alone were scored in just 5 minutes of play. The victory marks the Pacers' 6th win in a row, and they look to keep the streak going as they host Marymount-University tomorrow at 1. Both men's and women's tennis teams lost their matches against Pratt Institute in Brooklyn last Saturday. A single point by Jack Biggs was not enough for the men's team, who ended their fall season with an 8-1 loss. For the women's team, doubles victories by Allison Bashur, Gabriella Nowak, Faith Kendricks, and McKenna Seavey, and singles victories by Kendricks and Gabby Nunez were not enough as the Cannoneers of Pratt narrowly nabbed a 5-4 victory. Marywood's women's volleyball team fell to Centenary University 3-2 on Wednesday. Donna Bostancic made 28 digs, her highest of the season. Libby Smith also set a personal season record, making 12 kills. Tomorrow, the Pacers host Marymount-University and Rutgers-Camden for their final tri-match of the season. Well, that's all for Marywood sports. What's going on the professional front?
Did you hear about the NHL making its return for their 106th season?
I did not.
I'll tell you more. In Major League Baseball, the division series have begun after the wild card round concluded over the weekend. The Phillies took down the Cardinals, the Padres pulled off the upset against the Mets, the Mariners easily defeated the Blue Jays, and the Guardians snuck away with 2 wins against the Rays. That being said, the best 8 teams are left, and we are in for a great postseason. The matchups for the division series are the Phillies versus Braves, Padres versus Dodgers, Guardians versus Yankees, and Mariners versus Astros. This is step 1 of 3 for these teams if they want to be the last team standing and win the World Series. Moving over to the National Football League, Las Vegas Raiders star Davante Adams has gotten himself into trouble after shoving media worker Ryan Zebley this past Monday after his team suffered a 30-29 loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. Adams was charged with misdemeanor assault after causing the media worker to suffer whiplash, a headache, as well as possibly a minor concussion. Adams can face 6 months jail time or a fine of up to $1,000, and his response was, "It was just frustration mixed with Zebley standing right in front of me." Coach McDaniels of the Raiders backed his player. The National Hockey League is back after Tuesday night marking its 106th season. It seems to be that the league is very top-heavy in contending teams, and there was a bit of a drop-off. The defending champion Avalanche, the Hurricanes, Oilers, Panthers, Rangers, Maple Leafs, Lightning, and Flames are all considered options to win it all this year. The Rangers and Maple Leafs and Flames will count on their young core to develop and lead them to a championship. The other championship contenders will rely on their veterans that have been there for many years. That's all for sports. We will be back after these messages.
Okay, here we go.
3, 2.
3, 2, 1.
COVID-19 has been a really long and difficult fight.
So when we start talking about COVID, I completely get it. It's frustrating.
We've all been impacted one way or another.
The fight against COVID is also changing really quickly.
And it's sometimes really hard to keep up.
So here are a few things we know.
We are not fighting the same virus from 2020.
Right now, new variants are a lot more contagious and need to be taken seriously.
Getting vaccinated and staying boosted is the best way to keep you protected from COVID-19 and help you stay out of the hospital.
Even if you got COVID before, it's important that you go get your COVID booster.
COVID vaccines are safe.
Much safer than getting COVID-19.
We all want this to end sooner than later.
So go ahead and do things.
Go out and live your life, but get vaccinated. Stay boosted.
We can all do our part.
And get back to living. You can go to getvaccineanswers.org for more information.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Remember the best planned 90 minutes of your life? Or that surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
A giant pumpkin set a new record and won the Topsfield Fair All New England Giant Pumpkin Weigh-Off competition. The 2,480-pound pumpkin, grown by Jamie Graham, took first place, won him $8,500, and broke last year's record weight by 186 pounds. The pumpkin was named Bear Swipe by Graham's kids after surviving an attempted consumption by a black bear.
Goodness.
I have been following this on TikTok for months as it's grown, and if my Steelers are going to suck this year, at least I have Bear Swipe.
Well, I'm glad that there's something.
That's all that I have going for me.
Happy. I'm glad there's something out there making you happy. That's going to do it for this week's edition of TVM-News. From everyone at TV-Marywood, thanks for tuning in.
Be sure to follow TV-Marywood's YouTube page and like the TVM Facebook page to stay up to date on the latest happenings and to watch additional content. I'm Emma Rushworth.
And I'm Ellen Frotz. Have a great weekend, Marywood.